Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Nick Spacey and I'm an average runner from Norwich, and this video is the final one in my journey to the Boston UK Marathon. In this video I'll be going through my final week of training before going on to the marathon itself. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel as I will be documenting more of my fitness journey in the future. So let's head all the way back to the Monday before my marathon, which was the 22nd of April. And I started this off with a 40-minute easy run, keeping the pace nice and easy and trying to keep the heart rate nice and low. Tuesday is normally a strength and conditioning session here in my garage gym, but we don't do anything crazy on marathon week. So I did a follow along yoga on YouTube, which was just 30 minutes of stretching out the legs. So Wednesday was a 1 hour tempo run, and I broke this down into chunks. I done 15 minutes at my marathon pace, which was a 5:15 per kilometre. I then went on to half an hour of tempo running, which was a 4:45 per kilometre. During this, I felt really strong and confident, felt really good. And then for the last 15 minutes, I went back down to my marathon training pace, which was a 5:15 per kilometre. Thursday was an easy run again, just 40 minutes, stretching the legs, keeping them ticking over, nothing too stressful. Saturday, the day before the marathon, shakeout run, 3 very easy kilometres around where I live, nothing too stressful, keeping the heart rate low, keeping the legs ticking over. It's now Sunday, the 28th of April, marathon day, and before I go into how the marathon actually went, we need to go through the discussion of what happened actually around the course itself. Boston is an extremely rural course. It's right out in the countryside, and it's also extremely flat. That's the appeal of it. On Facebook, the night before, the Saturday, people who have driven the course already said that it was extremely muddy and there were puddles on the course already. And the main bulk of the rain was supposed to hit Saturday night into Sunday morning. I drove down from Norwich to Boston, which is an hour and 50 minutes. It absolutely poured it down the whole drive there. We then get into Boston itself, the actual town centre, about half an hour before the actual marathon started at 8 o'clock. The people were actually covering for shelter because the rain was that hard. There was a bag drop, which I utilised. We put our bags in a back of a transit van. Just before the race started, I did my warm-up and was feeling extremely confident. The race started itself. I started out at a good pace, felt confident, felt good. And then we headed out of Boston town centre itself and into the countryside. It was extremely windy, extremely wet. The puddles were sometimes shin deep. People were having to go around into the actual fields itself to get round the puddles. It got to a point where my feet were that wet and cold that most people ended up going through the puddles. We didn't know what was in the puddles, any potholes or anything like that. Boston did say that the potholes were marked out, but you couldn't see what was underneath the puddles because they were that big. Attached here is a picture of one of the puddles that we ran through. The marathon itself, although I couldn't feel my legs halfway, went okay. I felt confident, I felt good running. It got to 32k, and then the wind just sapped the energy out of me completely. The gusts of winds were hitting 30 miles an hour. And then as I ran back in towards Boston itself, about 2k before the finishing line, I felt something go my left side of my legs. I don't know whether I pulled something or it cramped up, but I then had to run walk the last 2k. But although I didn't hit my A goal, which was going sub 340, or getting a PB, which was 342, I still went under 3 hours 50 minutes, and I'm extremely proud of that, just because of the conditions on the day. And then we have to talk about the finishing line. We ran into Boston College. where we were greeted with our bags, which had been bag checked in the town centre of Boston, then transferred to the Boston College. These now were not on the back of the transit van, but were left on the ground in a pen, open to the rain, and everybody's bag was absolutely soaking wet. And there was the changing facilities were miles away in the local leisure centre, and then I didn't realise, but the car park that I'd parked in was 15 minutes walk away. So by the time I'd got my medal, got my t-shirt, realised that all my clothes in my bag were soaked, including my trainers. I then trudged back to my car, where I spent 40 minutes defrosting myself because it was so cold, before having to drive back 2 hours back to Norwich in my wet clothes. This was disappointed by the Boston Marathon because everybody's bag was absolutely soaking. There was a lot of complaints about the marathon, whether we should have actually been allowed on the course because some of the puddles and the mud on the road was quite bad. This is a discussion that's been had on Facebook. I think potentially if they'd have drove around and realised how deep some of the puddles were, then potentially it might not have gone ahead, but that's not up to me to do. But I ran it, and on a nice sunny day, when the roads are dry, I would think that it would be a beautiful course to run, and I may go back to it one day. So what now? I'm going to take a week off running before starting my training plan for Nuclear Fit in July. Nuclear Fit is a multi-run, multi-workout station event, a bit like a High Rocks, which I'm really looking forward to, before focusing on some half marathons, which are coming up at the end of August and then the end of October. Thank you for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you'd like to see the other video series that I've got coming up in the future, please subscribe to the channel. Please give this video a like. Until next time, thank you very much.